Hey, this video, we're gonna make some Biscuit Benedicts. It's Mother's Day, come on. All right, time to make these biscuits. I've got my bowl here. Yes, I'm gonna measure them out in a scale. If you wanna follow this recipe like to the exact T, go ahead and measure it out on a scale. So the first thing going in the bowl is the cubed butter. This is ice cold, by the way. Then we're just gonna toss in the flour. Then the baking powder, good pinch of salt. And that's everything for the dry. Now, also, here's something cool that you can actually do. You can go ahead and just mix all this stuff together, butter included, and just toss this into a container, keep it in the fridge for whenever you want to make biscuits. I used to do this in the restaurant. It was very handy for when I had to make them daily. So we got all the dry ingredients in here. And if you saw my empanada video, which was the one before this, basically we're gonna mix this up until the butter just turns into like maybe pea-size halves. We don't want to break it up too much because we want these to be nice and flaky. Okay, now before I start mixing this guy up, you might see on the recipe down below that this recipe calls for buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk, so I'm gonna go ahead and share a little tip with you. If you don't have buttermilk, you can go ahead and get some sour cream and some milk. I have half and half, it's creamier, I like it more. So I'm just gonna do equal parts of sour cream and half. And there you go, you have a buttermilk substitution right there. Go ahead and start your mixer up, and then just wait for this to turn into like pea-sized butter cubes. You guys are getting a really good biscuit recipe here, by the way. This comes from one of the restaurants from the company I was at in Seattle called Serious Biscuit. Amazing biscuit recipe. It's our butter, sort of this size right here. We're gonna add in the buttermilk. Now, we're gonna roll these guys out. Do a generous dusting of flour on my board. And what we wanna do here is we wanna give it a couple of folds. All right, so what I like to do is just roll it out into a long sheet, just like this. And now I'm just gonna give it a fold, and then give it another fold. And then I'll roll that out. Now at this point, you could just go ahead and cut little squares, but I have a ring mold, so I might as well cut them into little circles. So I'm just cutting them all out into little nice rounds, and I have my oven preheating to about 425 Fahrenheit. As you can see, we have our nice rounds. Before I set them off into the oven, I'm just gonna give them a light egg wash. All this is egg with some water. Whisk that up. Now I'm gonna toss them into an oven at 425 Fahrenheit. That's gonna go for 4 minutes. Then I'm gonna give it a turn, and then another 4 minutes, then turn, and then another 4 minutes. So total, what's 4 times 3? 12. 12 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and toss these guys in. Oh, all right, fresh out the oven. These look absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna be honest, I've never done this recipe with round biscuits, and they look pretty damn nice. Of course, they're all gonna puff up differently depending on your folding skills. Obviously, mine aren't that great because they're kind of all over the place, but they're still beautiful. Look at that biscuit, wow. So this is gonna be a great Biscuit Benny I'm doing because I don't really care for English muffins. So I'm gonna do a Biscuit Benedict. Okay, so in this portion of the video, I'm gonna be going over how to make the hollandaise. Now this is very simple, but it can be complicated, so you gotta pay attention to this. So I'm gonna do some 2 eggs, just the yolks. And I've just got the 2 egg yolks here in a pan, in a metal bowl, heat-proof. You could do a heat-proof glass bowl as well. And I have some water in a pot here, just about yay high in the pot. We don't want it to be touching the bowl because we're gonna set the bowl on that pot, just to give it a little steam bath. And you wanna also be constantly whisking, pay attention, make sure you're not doing anything else. To be honest with you, since I'm cooking and filming at the same time, I've already scrambled this once, so you just gotta really pay attention. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a touch of lemon juice, like a teaspoon, not too much. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this on the pot. And we're gonna just whip it up. It's gonna become nice and fluffy, ribbony egg yolk. So make sure to do this part really fast because it's gonna change really quickly on you. Remove it from the heat once it starts to fluff up. This is gonna be a really good workout for you guys. All right, I've got some fluffy egg yolk. This is ready. Now I'm just gonna slowly add in the melted butter. Whew. All right, hollandaise, done. Now I think I'm just gonna add some chopped tarragon in there, pinch of salt to taste, then I'll do some fresh smoked black peppercorn. Go ahead and add some more lemon juice to taste if you want, some more acid in there. And there we go, delicious hollandaise sauce to go on top of our eggs. Now you're gonna wanna go ahead and hold this somewhere warm, like maybe on top of your oven that's been on, or put it into a thermos, something like that, just to keep it warm so it doesn't separate. Okay, now we're at the egg poaching portion of this video. I've got a pot of water here filled to almost the rim. You wanna make sure you have a pot that's deep enough for this egg to fall down to. So bring your water up to a simmer, and then go ahead and salt it like the ocean, and then add some sort of vinegar to it. Now I wanna make sure that this water is not a rolling boil, because then it's gonna go ahead and tear apart the egg. Now what I like to do is I'll crack the egg into a separate little bowl, so it's a lot easier for me to handle. What I like to do is make a little vortex. Just go ahead and give it a spin, and then drop the egg right in the middle of that vortex. And there we have a poached egg. Congratulations! Yeah, cool. Now, let's go ahead and make a Biscuit Benny, huh? All right, here we have the Biscuit Benny. It's got this really delicious biscuit, of course with some bacon, because I'm a bacon guy, with the poached egg, some of that hollandaise, of course, with some tarragon to finish, and some crunchy salt. Now go ahead and enjoy this. You can make the biscuits for something else. You've just learned how to make a biscuit, how to poach an egg, and how to make a hollandaise. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video, really helps me out. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.